Hello people, welcome to another game of Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. Let's go! Пам'яті Небесної Сотні. In memory of the Ukrainian Heavenly Hundred. FROGWARES presents Crimes and Punishments Sherlock Holmes, starring Sherlock Holmes, Dr. John Watson, Inspector G. Lestrade, Mrs. Hudson, Mycroft Holmes, Wiggins and the BSI. The Fate of Black Peter. Oh, this is the chapter that is called The Fate of Black Peter.
Holmes!
Do I start playing already? Okay. Take cover. Be careful, Watson. Be careful.
Holmes, will you stop that?
Table. Take cover. Is that a bear?
You are utterly mad. Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate.
Confident step. Clinking handcuffs. Policeman. Ninth step avoided. Inspector Lestrade.
Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone, then.
Press Tab to open the casebook and check your current progress in the investigation, tasks, evidence, etc. Profile of the victim. Baker Street, Woodman's Lee. Tasks: investigate the murder of Peter Carey, inspect the crime scene at Woodman's Lee, select a suit to wear using your personal wardrobe, and join the Lestrade at Woodman's Lee. Okay. First I need to adjust my mouse because it's too slow. I don't like it. Gameplay. Mouse sensitivity. I think that 50 would be perfect. Yes. Letters.
This is where I keep my post.
Okay, in the last game that I played, you kept your post over here on the wardrobe. Hi, Mrs. Hudson.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
You're very inconsiderate, you know that. Door to Watson's room. Door to Holmes's room. Maybe I should talk to Watson about something. I like how like everything is the same as in the newer game. What's the name was that? Devil's Daughter, something like that. Yes, I think that was the Devil's Daughter. But the same, very different. I mean, it is the older game, but even like faces, they kind of the same, but at the same time they're very different. Like you can tell that this is an older game. Analysis table, everything is just the same. Telescope. Oh my! Sherlock, you have no shame. Hi, Watson.
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
Why do you clean up after him? This is just not fair. Why you're encouraging his bad behavior? Okay, let's change appearance. Morning gown, sailor outfit. Do I want him to be sailor? Yes, I think that I want him to be sailor. And hair and hat. I barely can see difference. Oh, well, I see this difference very well, yeah. I think this hat will go. Glasses. I think that I prefer him without glasses. And right now, like, this face looks even more different than when I was looking at him from a third-person perspective. That will do. Some makeup options or the costume you have currently equipped are not available at the moment and will be reset to the default. Please solve this crime case to unlock more disguise options. Oh. Well, what are you talking about then? About changing my... About selecting a suit to wear using your personal wardrobe. I guess that wasn't appropriate suit. Oh, this is the appropriate suit. Casual suit, black suit, brown suit, green suit, gray suit, light suit. Oh, so bandit outfit is locked. I can see it now. And sailor probably as well. So what will I do? Casual suit, yeah. Yeah, let's do with casual suit. Let's go. Have fun, Watson and Mrs. Hudson. Bye bye. Woodman's Lee.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
Such a nice scenery. Birds and everything. So quiet and peaceful. But a person was murdered here. Concentrate your attention on finding details that others are inclined to overlook. Let's examine these footprints. There is no way that that policeman didn't see those footprints. That's literally his job.
These footprints appear to be quite large.
Pumpkins. Evidence required. I guess I need something else as well. Garden.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Yeah, I'd say so. Policeman?
Mr. Holmes?
Yes, Mr. Policeman? What's your name? Can I get inside here? No, I cannot. But I think that I will be able to get in there later. There's one thing that I don't like about this Sherlock Holmes series, that it is very linear, so I cannot check that I cannot get inside this door before I can, or that maybe this something would be available in there later, but I cannot check this out here now. Nice. I like this atmosphere, like very typical English yard.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
I forgot how to play this game. So let's check first her appearance. Cameo? What's cameo? I know there are like cameos in movies or something, but I don't know what cameo is in this sense. What's this? Birdhouse. Is this a birdhouse? I would never be able to tell. Gardening gloves, so she's been gardening. Some kind of book. Crested teeth. Okay, can I get inside this book? I guess not, because she's watching, right? Anything unusual that night? I don't remember if I have option to ask all these questions, or it will reset after I ask only one question. Is there a gardener?
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
Okay. Anything unusual that night?
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream, but I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Evening before the murder?
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
When was the body found?
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
I think that he wasn't a very good man. Did he have visitors?
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. We lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
Everything will become easier.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
I don't know. Pilgrimage? Profile of the victim? I don't remember his profile. Probably. I think this is it. It's probably been mentioned in the profile that he was from Plymouth. No, wrong one. Select the correct answer.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I
I
believe it will be
have
less
another
of a burden
I
for
have
you soon.
another
Yes.
chance.
Life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
Oh, I can browse evidence. Oh, stupid me. Pilgrimage. Judith Carey is a woman with an uneasy life due to her unhappy marriage with Peter. She's a very religious Christian Catholic woman who undertook at St. James Way pilgrimage when she was young. Well-kept garden. Unidentified prints. There are unidentified footprints left recently on a patch of wet earth at Woodmansley. They may have been left by the murderer. Perhaps I could find a pair of boots that would match them. Okay, I still don't understand how we would know that she returned from Plymouth because it's never, it's not, it doesn't say it here. Judith is from the country somewhere near the ancient pine woods of Inverness and Strathspey in Scotland. She doesn't have a Scottish accent at all. Where the crested bird can be found. She is religious and undertook a St. James Well pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when she was a young woman. Still doesn't tell me why Plymouth. But I guess this is about pilgrimage.
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Thank you, madam.
Really? That's only one way in England from Spain? Okay, policeman. I have no access there yet. Maybe later, maybe never. But in The Devil's Daughter, we didn't have any option to, like, if I asked incorrect question, to ask it again. We would just stick with incorrect question. That's all. And so, Lestrade, now I'm going back to that very shed that I wanted to go into. And now I can.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see.
Okay, so what do we think? That there is no body inside there anymore? I need to click T. Door. Yes, right, door. Door lock. Yes. Well. Scratches. Okay.
These scratches are fresh.
That's it?
You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
I mean, this was just so strange because Lestrade could obviously see those scratches. Why did I have to use T to see those scratches? So stupid. Sorry to say, but this is stupid.
What a terrible way to die.
Well, the body is still there. Okay, shelf. What do we have on shelf? Sperm whale tooth.
The tooth of a sperm whale. Probably from one of Peter Carey's catches.
Probably. Shelf. Suspiciously empty space. Outline or in the dust. Examine outline in the dust.
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps.
So I need to use imagination now. Oh well, I used it already, I guess. Okay. He used it on his own wheel. I'm stuck. Ship's logs.
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
Object of interest? Maybe later. Harpoon rack.
Harpoons for hunting whales.
And someone had hunted that whale. Wooden chest. Let's open it. What's inside? Boots.
Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8.
A bag. We are not going to investigate that bag. Navigation
Old
tools.
navigation instruments. Nothing interesting.
Okay. Sea Unicorn.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded.
Table. Oh, 2 glasses. But maybe he's that man who would drink from one glass, who didn't wash that first glass and took another glass, and now he has 2 dirty glasses.
Someone drank from this glass recently.
Tobacco pouch. P. Is it C? PC?
The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work.
Peter Carey, this is his initials, right? Open. Do we have money here? Oh, we have tobacco because this is a tobacco pouch. What money in tobacco pouch?
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
Rotate and move the elements to form a clear picture of aromatic associations. Oh my. Tobacco leaf. Smoking pipe. It can move only from down to up and down. What about tobacco leaf? Tobacco leaf can be moved only left and right. Interesting. Well, that's it? I have only 2 things here. Let's rotate. Oh, it's like a 3D picture. Possibly. I've got my ship, I think. Maybe I didn't. No, I really think that this is the correct way to look at it. But where should I move smoking pipe? Oh, oh, okay. I still think that this is right. I didn't realize that this tobacco leaf and smoking pipe were the part of the ship. The parts of the ship, so...
Yes, this is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
Bottle?
Rum, a sailor's drink. It seemed that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
Well, anything else, or should I proceed to check out the body? Map. Finland, Russia, Germany, London, Ireland, North Sea, Hammerfest.
Hammerfest.
Well? Oh, Dundee.
Dundee. It's a whaling map.
Well, ship's log, I think that they will be of interest a bit later. So this is his kind of improvised bed. Okay, let's check out his body.
The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
Someone must have been very strong. Let's examine Peter Carey's face.
This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong.
Well, it's not like 50s is old, but I mean, at that time maybe it was kind of slightly older than today, but still, it's not like 80s. Peter Carey's clothes.
Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer.
Pierced chest. What's that? Harpoon.
Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
Full of blood. Notebook. Inscription.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
Possibly. Can I open it? Well, I want to take it. Oh, blood.
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey.
Now I can open it. Okay. Phone numbers. No, that's so.
These abbreviations mean something, but what?
Possibly some navigation tips. Sea knife. I think that he tried to fight off with a sea knife. Blood.
This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body.
Wooden handle.
This wooden handle is plain and solid. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed.
Well, quite obvious. Well, that's it. Okay, let's see. Some of the evidence can be used in the investigation and will be marked with specific icons. Okay, find the use. I need to match these boots to those footprints. Yes. Tobacco pouch. I need to talk to someone about tobacco. And I need to talk about someone about the outline in the dust. Peter Carey. Is there something new? Like he was there in maybe he commanded the whaler Sea Unicorn of Dundee for many successful expeditions. Maybe that was added. I don't remember what it said previously, so I'm not sure what had been ended. Okay, let's check clues for deduction. Find a pair of related clues and they will form a pair. Yes, I remember how this works. Probably. Pinned to the wall. Peter Carey's body was impaled to the wall with harpoon through the chest like a butterfly. Break-in attempts. Several unsuccessful attempts were made to break in according to the scratches around the lock. But it's so weird, like if that person was so strong that they could have just nail the large man with the harpoon to the wall and they couldn't break the lock. Doesn't make any sense. So these are different. I think that these were different people. Notebook. A leather notebook with the initials G, J, H, and it is stained with blood, which indicates that it was dropped into the pool of blood after the murder. No gardener. Judith Carey says that her husband took care of the garden himself. That does not sound feasible. She might be hiding something. I don't think that I can match anything yet. Unless I can try. Oh. Really? Make an ambush. An ambush must be made tonight to see if the break-in attempt will be repeated. Oh. Okay.
Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
Maybe she will do that again. Okay. Can I check ship's logs now or...
The ship's logs of
Still
the
not
Sea Unicorn
yet.
for the years 1870.
How do I organize the ambush? Do I ask Lestrade? Organize an ambush with the Lestrade. Yes, the mysterious intruder might return tonight to finish what he has planned. Hey, Lestrade.
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky
And why is that?
because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oof, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
Well, how do I start the ambush? Do I get back home and then I get back here?
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the window.
I need to find a place. Okay. Let's find. You think here somewhere, hiding place? I think yes. He wants us to hide here. Examine.
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
It's so dark I cannot see.
Shh! Did you hear that?
Is it Wiggins?
There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there. Mr. Holmes, come and see what we've caught in our net.
Wiggins.
All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't! I'm not... It's a terrible mistake.
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector. But please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
Well, that wasn't Wiggins, but like when they showed him just in the beginning, he really looked very young and very as that boy. So it's a fair mistake. What? I'm just here already? What if I wanted to get home, take shower, I don't know.
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. Can I help you?
Good morning, Constable. I would like to speak to the fellow who was arrested at Woodman's Lee last night.
Ah, the young man. He's waiting in the interrogation room. You can go straight through. His belongings are held in the evidence room.
Thank you.
I probably should first go into the evidence room to check his belongings. Is this evidence room? Yes. Okay, what do we have here?
These are the suspect's belongings.
Yeah, his
The
notebook,
that we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor.
abbreviations.
These abbreviations mean something. But what?
Probably he will tell us. Rin. So he's married? He looks very young. From R. Dawson to my friend and partner, 1983.
And partner, 1883. To my friend, from R. Dawson. Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer.
Perhaps. And kerchief.
A handkerchief with the initials JHN.
A pocket knife.
A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin.
Do we have anything here? No. Let's go and talk to him. Is this morgue? I think so. Maybe I should check the body. Is it there yet? Oh, it's still not here. Maybe it won't be here for this case. I think he's in there already. John Nelligan. He's very young. Shabby cap. You're such a snob, Sherlock. Patch. I think that I missed something. Because there is one empty spot. I don't know. Thin neck. Okay. Short sleeves. Callous. Scars. Elaborate buttons. Expensive fabric. Notebook.
Does this notebook belong to you?
yes. But where did you find it? I did not know. I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh, no. I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan.
C knife.
The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
Gold ring.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
Ring's engraving.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner.
He's still a child right now. Like, look at him. I don't know what, 16?
So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
Father's jacket. Let's see. Nelligan is approximately 19 years old. He was raised in wealth, but after the desertion of his father 10 years ago, he and his family fell into poverty. He worked to earn money by cleaning fish. Despite undertaking such manual work for a considerable time, Nelligan remains physically weak. Yes, definitely. Like, he couldn't have killed... what's his name? Peter. The way that he was killed. There's just no way. I think this is a father's jacket, no?
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Please, let me go. I'm innocent.
Let's check our deduction tab. No gardener, Nelligan's notebook. Well, he wanted to get his notebook, right? Retrieving the notebook. The break-in attempts were made in order to recover the notebook that had been lying in a pool of the victim's blood. This proves the guilt of the person who made these attempts. Anything else? Swift actions. Peter Carey was armed with his knife, but he did not have time to use it. The murderer acted quickly and instinctively and very strong. Into the wall. Breaking attempts. I don't know, pin to the wall with swift actions. Task experiments required. We need to find out whether an unskilled and untrained man could use a harpoon well enough to kill by fully piercing a body.
I need to stage a reconstruction. I am sure that Watson would be happy to oblige.
Can I talk to you more?
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
Is Lestrade inside?
Locked.
Okay, let's go back home. Hey Watson, I have a proposition to you.
A spot of whaling, Watson. Would you care to take part?
Are you serious?
No, but we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible, but if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
No.
Thank goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
Okay, let's go to Whitechapel Butcher.
I need to take a harpoon with me.
Oh, okay. I thought that we would take a pig with you, not harpoon. Actually, I would want to talk to Mrs. Carey maybe more. Let's take...
That should do it. Now I am ready for the experiment.
Can I talk to her a bit more? Ask her some questions, or it's not available to me right now? It is available. Was Peter a smoker?
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be, but he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Peter's private papers?
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
Thank you, madam.
Well, it's not there. I just enjoy this scenery so much. And now Whitechapel Butcher. Well, do I throw harpoon, or will Watson throw a harpoon? Who will do it, Watson?
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise. Yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test.
Hold breath.
The harpoon has struck the body, but with insufficient strength to pierce it straight through. Holmes, you should try to aim better and throw as hard as you can.
Well, it's just that I thought that I need to kind of unclick, not click twice. So I don't like this method at all. Oh yeah, I don't have to hold it. Oh, I was stupid. As always, nothing new here. Oh, good.
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Well, yes. Let us leave now.
All right. But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
Very well, but please hurry.
Of course.
And what now? Do I take it back? I should take it back, honestly. Sherlock didn't even ask for permission to take it, so it's stealing. Well, what do we do now? Oh, I forgot about boots. And I need to search archives. So let's go and try our boots. Where was it? Here. Drag it down.
These boots don't match the footprints.
Let's search the archive now. Search for Dawson 1883. Yes. Chemistry. I doubt it's in chemistry. Poison. Poisons and toxin, no. Wounds and injuries, no. Criminalistics, no. Martial arts, I don't think so. Newspapers. Oh, Dawson and Nelligan are bankrupt. Dawson and Nelligan Investment Fund bankrupt, Nelligan missing. The Dawson and Nelligan Investment Fund, a regional banking institution based in Cornwall, has declared bankruptcy as a result of heavy losses in its loan portfolio and has accordingly been assigned for liquidation. It was the 23rd largest bank in Britain and its bankruptcy was the second largest on the record. The liquidation of company is a pure catastrophe for many Cornwall families. Joshua Nelligan, one of the bankers, has since mysteriously disappeared. He was last seen aboard his yacht preparing for departure to Norway. Nelligan is wanted both by the police and his creditors.
Here it is. Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him.
Dawson and Nelligan.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes, Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress. Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
Examine the ship's logs. Okay, let's check the ship's logs.
1883. That's the one I need. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
Peter Carey, master. Charles Ellison, first mate. Henry Joey, second mate. James Lancaster, helmsman. Oh, he's not here.
Log notes for June. Nothing unusual. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
Examine test.
This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
I guess there's nothing else. Nothing to examine. I don't see a familiar name here. So maybe he wasn't here, or maybe he changed his name.
Log notes for June. Nothing unusual.
Thursday, June 8th. Light breeze through the day. Saw a whale tail along at SE. Southeast. Just at night, 2 more ships in sight. So other whaling ship far away to the north.
Log notes for July. Nothing special.
Saw no whales today, August.
Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away.
Rather squally wind through the day and night. Helmsman suspects incoming storm. Canadian Pacific Railway.
Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR, a torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere very recently. There are 3 ways of discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first 2 of these will require speaking with a dead man. The last would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
Task for Wiggins, the ship's log of the Sea Unicorn for 1883. So I need to find Wiggins and bond certificate. I do remember CPR somewhere. But where? A notebook found at the crime scene with the initials JHN. There are follow abbreviations inside, and I see that there is CPR, but I think that I saw CPR somewhere else as well. Maybe I'm mistaken. It was CPR on the pouch. No, just PC. I saw it somewhere. Probably was wrong. I think that I need to go to the Scotland Yard and to check out
These are the suspect's belongings.
this notebook. Compare with certificate.
I wonder if these are connected. Now we have the proof that Nelligan's papers were indeed here. It seems that they have vanished, however.
Should I talk to him again? To Nelligan, or... Let's check what we have in the deduction. Missing papers. A stub of bond certificates found in the cabin proves that certificates for the companies listed in Nelligan's notebook had once been there. Peter Carey had given up smoking a long time ago, but he might still have kept the pouch alone. His wife, although his wife had not seen it before, she was forbidden to set foot inside the cabin. Missing tin box. Maybe breaking attempts? No. So stolen valuable papers. Valuable bond certificates were kept inside with the inside the stolen tin box. What do we have here? Nelligan's motive. John Nelligan could have been caught stealing the bond certificates. This might have been a motive for him to murder Peter Carey, but you forget about physical strength. So, strength requirement, pinned to the wall. Some of the facts may be interrupted and interpreted differently. Okay, feat of strength. It requires much greater strength than that of the average man to be able to pierce a man's chest with a harpoon all the way through the wall. A degree of skill would most likely be necessary. Two men in cooperation might achieve the same result. Like a throw, there is a remote possibility that an unskilled and untrained man could manage to pin Peter Carey to the wall with a harpoon. I say unlikely. Anything else do I have here? Missing papers, breaking attempts. Okay, retrieving the notebook. The break-in attempts were made in order to recover the notebook that had been lying, or Nelligan was looking for his father's papers inside Black Peter's cabin. It explains his presence at the scene of the murder. I think looking for papers. Maybe? Stolen valuable papers. So Nelligan motive. I think that Nelligan is innocent. John Nelligan is a victim of circumstance. He does not fit the portrait of the murderer either by physical or psychological description. At least I think so. Maybe I'm wrong. These do not connect. Okay. Let's go. So what should I do next? I need to talk to Wiggins, and I need to talk to John. Breaking.
Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, what exactly were you hoping to find inside Peter Carey's cabin?
I was trying to find some information about my father.
Bond certificate?
I assume you had another purpose, to retrieve the bond certificates. Am I correct?
Yes. I discovered some time ago that a few of the missing securities had reappeared on the London market. You can imagine my amazement. I spent months trying to find them, and at last I discovered that the original seller had been Captain Peter Carey. These papers, they belong to my family, but I could not find them there.
Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Okay, what's next? Next is task to Wiggins. Need to come back to my home.
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they are still working at the harbour.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard...
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang?
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins than from a dozen yard detectives. Those children are everywhere. They see and hear everything, and they are cunning. All they lack is organization. I'll summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him.
All Wiggins?
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, I need you to track down certain people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, because his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Sailors? Easy. Just got to look where the rum and the red lights are.
Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'll be there shortly.
Okay, well, I will go to the Scotland Yard next time. For now, I finish this part here. Oh, let's first talk to a dog. Toby?
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
And now I think that it's fair for me to finish this part here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.